guys, it's Bia here from Bia's Video Journal. So we're just going to get straight into this video. We're not going to do a massive, super long intro, purely because this is going to be a long video. So I don't want to make my intro too long and add too much time to the video. So in this video, I'm going to yap about fashion, and in particular, I'm going to yap about my fashion philosophy, what that word means for me, what the whole concept of it entails. So let's start. So for me, my fashion philosophy, it's the way I see fashion. It's the way I believe fashion exists. It's the way that my personal beliefs, for example, that's the way my personal beliefs shape my views on fashion, right? That's all included under this word and this term, my fashion philosophy. And for me, my fashion philosophy is basically about taking up as much space as you possibly can to show your opinions and who you are through your fashion, to express yourself based on the way you wear clothes, jewelry, accessories, and anything that comes under labels. And this comes from the way you wear your hair, like the way I'm wearing my hair today. I didn't get in the shower at all today. I didn't wash my hair, right? That's an expression of myself. That's me expressing myself through my hair. Down to the socks you wear, even though people don't see those. If you're wearing fun, funky, colorful socks that you like, that you want to wear, right? Other people aren't going to see that, but you're making yourself happy and you're expressing yourself through something that is part of your fashion. That's something that you wear. But it's also about taking up space that maybe it's a space that you have been pushed out of, that you don't feel like you belong in, right? It's a space that you want to take up by being bold, being eccentric, being quirky, wearing color, wearing things that are colorful, right? You want to take up that space, especially if you're a woman or part of a minority group in any capacity of that word, when we're living in times that are so scary for people who are part of these minority groups, right? Take up that space, take up that fashion, make yourself be seen, make your minority group be seen, be that representation in spaces, right? That's all about how I and many others who might be watching this, or others who are out there that don't make videos, that don't make content, they probably see fashion the same way that I see it, just that there's only a few of us that make content on it that are willing to come out and say these things, right? And it's also about the way you do your makeup, right? Like the way I'm doing my makeup today, well, it's more simple than other makeup looks I've worn in my day-to-day life, right? It's still a pretty bold look that differs from the norm that I see among the people that I go to school with, right? The people that I see walking down the street, the people that I see driving in their cars, right? This is still a look that is bold and different, right? Because it's me expressing myself. It is me refusing to not conform to societal norms, right? And it also matters to me when it comes to your fashion philosophy that fashion is a tool. It's a protest tool. It's a powerful protest tool. It can be used to stand up to oppression, to stand up to the face of oppression across the world, across the global community, right? And that can be everything from buying your clothes from thrift stores, to making your own clothes, to upcycling your clothes, to DIYing your clothes. That all of that can be a protest tool. It can be used to divest your money away from companies that are contributing to an injustice and societal standards that harm people, that harm our planet, that harm our environment, right? All of that can be boycotted and protested through fashion. Being a nonconformist, dressing the way you want, expressing your personal style like I do every day, to show my nonconformity, to show that no, you cannot push me into a tiny little societal box that wants to contain me and make me be seen as quiet. I will forever wear fashion. I will forever wear my personal style, wear what I want, while making it conform to dress codes so that I don't face retaliation. But at the same time, I will also wear what I want. I will be bold, I will be expressive, and I urge all of you watching this video, even if you're just coming upon this video for the first time on your For You page, I implore you to do that, especially when we're living in such confusing and unjust times where we see oppression from the pulpit of our national government, right? When we see these things, wear the personal style that you want as a way to be a nonconformist, to show that you don't conform to society and that you don't conform to these beliefs that they want to force on people, that they want the global world and global community to see us as. But a lot of you guys are asking, why are we talking? What does any of these words mean? You're using big terms. Why are you relating them to politics? I will talk about that in the rest of the video. And the first section we're going to talk about is how you can take up space with your fashion, what those words and terms mean, right? So a lot of you guys are probably wondering right now, Bia, how do we take up space with our fashion? Well, what I mean by that is there are societal beauty standards and trends that are set, and these trends that are set, they're based on the societal beauty standards of the time you're living in, where you're living, the culture of the towns you're living in, the communities, the counties, wherever you're living, there's a culture there, and that is setting societal beauty standards for your society in the town and wherever you live, right? And the way you can take up space is by breaking those trends, not wearing what's trendy, not buying the first thing you see on a major fast fashion retailer. Instead, you can dress like I do, or anyone else, and you dress for yourself in the way, instead of dressing for anyone, right? That is simply taking up space, especially when you're taking up space created for a group that oppresses a minority or a group that you're a part of, right? And this whole idea of taking up space has been spread on social media, and no one is explaining the origins of it and why the phrase taking up space with your fashion matters so much. And it's because it comes from this saying that fashion should take up as little space as possible and as little time in your day. Well, I believe, as do pretty much anyone that's talking about personal fashion, personal style, and taking up fashion, that saying of that fashion should take up as little space as possible and as little time as possible is false. Instead, fashion should take up as much space as you can for it to be used as a powerful tool of protest, of nonconformity, of just standing up to things that oppress us in society. And we can talk about expressing yourself through fashion in the same way, because when you express yourself through fashion, the biggest way to do that is wearing the things you like, wearing the personal style that you like, wearing the pieces that you like, styling them the way you like, wearing them with the jewelry you like, styling them with the jewelry you like, the socks you like, the shoes you like, right? All of that can be done in a few simple ways. And that is so easy, and I think so many people when they're talking about personal style aren't giving you examples and ideas of how to wear your personal style, how to develop it, right? Or you have to go watch another video. And well, of course I'm gonna have to do that, and I am no different than any other content creator. I think that is a major flaw, right? All we seem to do is tell people to develop a personal style, to wear it. We're not giving them a set outfit idea or a series of outfit ideas of our own personal style that we're putting out there. There are two people to teach them, this is me wearing my personal style, this is me expressing myself, this is me being bold and confident in my personal style, in an outfit that reflects my personal style and what I want to wear, which is why at the end of this video I will have a series of outfits that I've personally worn to music to show you how I wear my personal style out every day in a day-to-day life. I find personal style and personal style development tends to be easier for people who dress in an alternative way, who have alternative beliefs, right? As I and many other members within the alternative community do. You don't have to be alternative to have alternative beliefs. You don't have to have any of that to express your personal style. Every single person has a personal style. They have an idea of a style. They have an idea of a personal style, and it's their personal style. It doesn't have to be labeled. It doesn't have to fall under a category of a box like cottagecore or twee or clean girl or basic or preppy, right? Or goth or emo or any of that. It doesn't have to fall under that specific label, right? It's your personal style. You can combine elements from those labels. Because aesthetics happen when capitalism and consumerism get to subcultures. All of these styles that I just named, except for a few, come from subcultures. And aesthetics reduce subcultures down because they're based on capitalism and consumerism that got to those subcultures and watered them down and took away their idea of what a subculture is and what it's meant to be. Which is another issue with the way people talk about style, right? We should talk about it in terms of personal style. We should talk about it like, this is an outfit I wear because I like it and it expresses who I am. It expresses my political beliefs, my personality, the shows I like, the TV shows I like. I'm dressing like a character from a TV show that came out before I was born that I love, or I'm dressing like a character in the background of a movie that I love that came out years before I was born because I love that movie, and this is me expressing myself for dressing as that character from that movie. And the next one, you guys are going to hate me for this. I'm going to talk about consumerism and fashion because that's a huge part of my personal belief. I believe we live in an over-consumerist society, that we should try to buck the ideas of consumerism, especially in a time when so many companies aren't standing for the same beliefs they stood for a year ago, purely because of who's in charge and the fact that they're afraid of facing corporate retaliation for that, right? Instead, go to a thrift store, buy less, right? For me, I'm trying to make these videos and all this content by buying no clothes for the next year. So from February 2025 to February 2026, I will buy no new clothes, no new shirts, no new pants, socks. Underwear's a little different, none of that. No new jewelry even, no rings, no hair accessories, hair ties, clips, necklaces, bracelets, any of that, right? Instead, I want to style and make outfits based on pieces that I already have in my closet because I use so much, as so many of you probably do, because of the issues lying in our society that come from the fact that we've been fed by consumerism. Especially, we are fed consumerist content on TikTok, on Instagram, on Facebook. All of these social media platforms, all of these social media influencers are feeding us ideas of consumerism that, oh, just buy this. You need this to be happy, right? You need this. Amazon dupes, Shein dupes, $5 dupes, right? They're not good quality. So if you're going to buy a piece, you're going to spend the money to buy that. You're going to break from haul culture. And that even not buying from those companies that don't stand behind those so-called corporate beliefs and those groups that they claim to stand behind. That is literally using fashion and your money as a protest tool, because fashion is political, right? And it isn't just subcultures in the alternative world, such as emo, such as punk, such as goth, such as scenecore. Those aren't the only parts of fashion that are political. Those aren't the only political subcultures, right? There are so many other ones, right? Every single aspect of fashion is political. They are deeply intertwined and they cannot be separated, because if we are to separate fashion from politics, we are to separate an essential part of fashion and the word and the term from what fashion is, which takes away a core element of fashion. Fashion is political because it has been shown over time that it can be a powerful protest tool. Wearing a mask in 2020, in 2021, in 2022, in 2023, 2024, onwards, right? That is political because you are showing that you don't stand behind the things that are coming out of our National Organization of Health. Well, yes, there are issues with it. It is still... And there are ways you can protest that. You can wear an openly political shirt. You can endorse a political candidate even after they've ran by wearing their political merch, right? You can show those things, which is expressing yourself, and it's expressing your politics, which is why fashion is so political and it's so deeply intertwined. We're going on to the next part, which the next part of this video is going to be, I'm going to talk about buying your clothes, ethical parts of buying your clothes, because why? That's a part of my fashion philosophy. I don't believe anyone should be buying in large amounts, large hauls from any major fast fashion retailer, because I think every single fast fashion retailer is corrupt and they contribute to global, and this has been proven, they're corrupt. They contribute to global warming, to economic issues in other countries, to environmental issues, to the destruction of this planet that we are seeing in real time every day of our lives that people turn away from. Like, for example, we all know Shein and Temu, right? Those are the most talked about. They're the biggest fast fashion retailers, right? And it's talked about their clothes are such poor quality, but I'm going to keep buying them from them because they're cheap. There are better ways to get your clothes for cheap. And the reason they're so cheap is because they're made with human trafficked and enslaved labor in parts of the global south. This is even a feminist issue, and I could talk about this for hours and hours and hours and hours, but I won't bore you with that. I'll talk about a synopsis. Shein and Temu, we're going to group them together. Both have been shown that, just like every other fast fashion retailer out there today, human traffic women in the global south and pay them very low, almost slave-like wages to have them make their garments in sweatshops in horrible conditions. And that is one of the reasons I started talking about this with my friends, that I started this channel, that I started the TikTok page, was because I wanted to talk about these things and bring light to these things, because they aren't just issues within fashion, environmentalism. It's a feminist issue because these are women. These are women being harmed, and these are the rights of women being harmed, right? These women deserve equal pay. They deserve everything that we get here in the global north. The global south is some of the poorest parts of the global community, if not. I can't even add a word to describe that. But these are areas that are so poor and so impoverished that these women have nothing. And your Shein and your Temu hauls, your haul culture is affecting women. It's affecting women's rights. It's affecting human trafficking. It's affecting the planet. So I ask of all of you that are watching this video, even those of you that have never seen my face before, that are seeing my face for the first time in this video, where I get political, I get deep, right? I want you to stop buying hauls across the board. Get away from haul culture in thrift stores, in non-Shein and Temu, in Shein and Temu, and instead save your money, spend it on things like DIY pieces to make pieces that you love and cherish, know how to make and fix, or something else that you love, such as a hobby such as writing, reading, playing music, drawing. Invest in the supplies for that. Invest in that hobby instead of investing in new clothes every week, because the need for a new wardrobe every day is not a need. It is a want, and it is a want rooted in consumerism and capitalism. But it's not only Shein and Temu that are the fast fashion. It's almost everything. So instead of trying to shame people and cut out all aspects of fast fashion from our lives, what we can do is we can avoid them. We can accept pieces that are gifted to us that are made by major fast fashion retailers, by friends, family, and anyone else that may gift you something like that. And instead we can wear that piece till it falls apart. And then once it falls apart, we can mend it, or we can upcycle it into a new piece. That is what I've done with pieces that I have from fast fashion retailers. Because they've fallen apart, I've cut them up, I've turned them into things, I've upcycled them, I've mended them, right? So instead of buying new clothes every time it breaks, we can instead buy the supplies to mend them and learn how to mend our clothes and make them last longer. That way we don't contribute to a problem of consumerism. And in addition to that, if you're really wanting new clothes, you could go to a thrift store and take pieces out of circulation and wear something that belonged to someone else that had a story before it. Then you can give it a new story and add on to the story. That's how I want you guys to think about thrifting when you're going to the thrift store and thrifting for clothing. I want you and anyone who's watching this, I want you guys to listen to this part. When you're thrifting a piece, you're taking a piece that had a story, that had a life before you, before it sat in a thrift store shelf, before it sat in the back of someone's closet and then went to a thrift store. It had a story, it had a life, it had a story, right? And you're taking that piece, you're giving it a new story, and that new story adds on to another piece. And then when you're done with it, if it's in good quality and you feel good about it, you donate it back, and then someone else goes and gets it, adds on to the story, and that adds to the cycle of fashion spreading. It allows fashion to spread. Anyway, that is all for me. This video is quite long. Well, it's not super long. It's about 20 minutes or so, which is almost the same length as the last video I posted. I do hope you guys enjoy my fashion videos and my fashion content, as that's what I've decided to make primarily on this page. And I have decided, based on some discussions with some friends and some very close supporters of myself and this channel, that I will make fashion focused content, and I will make videos like this where I talk about issues within fashion. In addition to that, I will also make videos such as my last one, where I purchase a piece from a Depop or I style a piece in my closet. And in a lot of those videos, instead of just doing one outfit like I did in the last video, I'll have multiple outfits. I'll add multiple different ideas. That way you guys can like it. And my next video that I have up will be alternative lookbooks. So I hope you guys are excited to see that, and I hope you guys like this video. That's all for me. Make sure, if you like this video, to go hit the like button. Check out the description for more information, socials, and timestamps. make sure to leave me a comment letting me know what you guys thought of this video. Your feedback is graciously appreciated. If you look in the description, if you scroll down to where it says socials, you should see a link to my personal and my fashion Instagram, as well as my personal and fashion TikToks, which you're welcome to follow me on. You will also see a link to join our Discord server where you can talk to myself and many other members of the friend group outside of comments and discussion posts. Anyway, that is all for me. Toodaloo. There will be outfits at the end of the video. Bye-bye. Hey guys, it's Bia, back with another video here on Bia's Video Journal. So we're going to get right into this video because it's going to be quite a long one, and it's probably definitely, that's going in bloopers.